Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to do some questions from Infosys online written test as organized every year and this year also for the upcoming batch of 2021. Now, the best part about Infosys paper is it is divided into sections. So it's not that the questions are going to randomly appear from anywhere. We have five sections. So there is a section for puzzle solving, then there is a section for programming or something related to pseudo codes will be given. Then there is three sections. One is for verbal ability, one is for logical reasoning, and one is for mathematical ability. Mathematical ability is basically aptitude that they're looking for. So they'll give questions based on aptitude in the portion for mathematical ability. If I give an overall analysis of difficulty level of the paper, it will most of the questions are going to be easy. Some questions might require some logic, but they all could be solved using minimum mathematics and maximum logic that we can have. So just using logic and minimum calculation, we can solve out all those questions. Not going to be a very big task. Most of the questions are going to be on a scale of easy. Some of them can be on a moderate level of difficulty. So let's look at the first question, how it is asked, what the first question is. So the first question that is given to us is a plus 1 by a, the whole square is equals to 3. Then the value of a cube plus 1 by a cube is being asked to us. So we're going to begin from here only. A plus 1 by a, the whole square is given to me as 3. I can find the value of a plus 1 by a and it is going to be root 3. Now, let's begin from here. Let's try to reason out a cube plus 1 by a cube. Okay, so a cube plus 1 by a cube I need to find out. I know the formula for a cube plus b cube is a plus b the whole cube minus 3ab into a plus b. This is nothing. I've just expanded the formula for a plus b the whole cube. A plus b the whole cube is a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. So from there I took out a cube plus b cube. I took minus 3ab into this side. It would have been plus 3ab into a plus b. I took it to the other side and this is how I got the formula. In that way, where I know what is going to be the value of some of the known factors that I have here. Okay, now a cube plus b cube is a plus b the whole cube minus 3ab a plus b, where this a stands for the a that is given to me and b is actually 1 by a. So if I have a into b, that's a into 1 by a. The value of a into b is 1. Okay, let's put the values. A plus b. A plus b right now, it's a plus 1 by a. A plus 1 by a is given to me. It's root 3. Root 3 the whole cube. Minus 3 into 1 into a plus b. I have found out a plus b is a plus 1 by a. It's root 3. Okay, root 3 the whole cube is 3 root 3. 3 root 3 minus 3 root 3, if you do it, comes out to be 0. So overall value of a cube plus 1 by a cube becomes 0. So a plus b the whole cube is actually a cube plus 1 by a cube, comes out to be 0. My answer is option A. Next, the ratio of monthly incomes of A and B is given. It's 3:4. Then ratio of their expenditures is also given to me. It's 4:5. What of the following represents a possible value of the ratio of their savings? Okay, so I know income ratio is given to me, expenditure ratio is given to me. Let the incomes of A and B, let it be 3x and 4x. This is the income. Then let the expenditure of A and B, let it be 4y and 5y. Let these be the expenditures, because according to the question, income and expenditure, these two things are given to me. So income I have measured, expenditure I have measured. Now, which of the following represents a possible value of the ratio of their savings? Saving, for a matter of fact, it is equals to how much you are earning minus how much you are spending. So saving is actually income minus expenditure. So for A, if we talk about A's savings becomes 3x minus 4y and B's savings becomes 4x minus 5y. This is A's saving, this is B's saving. So two saving values I have already, and I need to have a possible value of A is to B's saving, that is 3x minus 4y divided by 4x minus 5y. This is the value that I'll be needing in this particular question. Now, for this, it needs to imply I need to have the positive values of savings. I cannot have negative values. So, first thing, I need to have positive values. So, for having positive values, x has to be greater than y in all the cases. X has to be greater than y for the savings to be positive. Whatever value of x I'm going to take, whatever value of y I'm going to take, it has to be x greater than y always. Okay. Now, next thing that I have to do here is I'll go with respect to options, because after this I cannot solve anything and no other relation is given to me with respect to incomes and expenditures, and they're just asking me a possible value. What I can do is I can go with respect to options. Let's try to put on the options one by one. So if I have 9 is to 10, if I have the value of possible ratio of their savings, if it is 9 is to 10, this becomes 9 by 10. 3x minus 4y upon 4x minus 5y becomes 9 by 10. When you solve this, you get the ratio of x is to y. It will be something 5 is to 6. It is positive, but it is contradicting the fact that x has to be greater than y. This becomes, this fact is not clarified that x becomes greater than y. This becomes wrong. So my A cannot be my answer. Now, if I go for 3 is to 4, if I put 3x minus 4y upon 4x minus 5y equals to 3 by 4, if I put this value, I will get the value of y to be equal to 0. This is not possible because my y I have taken for expenditure. Expenditure cannot be 0. If I am taking expenditure to be 0, this ratio 4 is to 5 will not be possible. My question only becomes wrong. I cannot make my question to be wrong. B also is not possible. Let's try 13 is to 20. So if you put this whole ratio 3x minus 4y upon 4x minus 5y equals to 13 by 20, you get the ratio of x is to y as 15 is to 8. Okay, x is to y was obtained, 15 is to 8. Saving is also positive, x is also greater than y, both the conditions are satisfied. This might be my answer. Let's check for D also. Let's try to check for D also. If I'm putting this whole ratio equals to 4 by 5, my value of x comes out to be 0. In this particular case, when I'm putting 3x minus 4y divided by 4x minus 5y equals to 4 by 5, the last ratio, value of x comes out to be 0. That is, their income is 0. Not possible at all. So D is also not my answer. I got my condition satisfied with respect to option C when the ratio comes is 3 is to 20. In that case, my x also becomes greater than y. That is, my income is greater than expenditure. Also, my saving is positive. Both the conditions satisfied. My answer is option C. Next question. A boat travels certain distance, it is given. So if it is about boats, it is obviously going to be something related to upstream and downstream only. I know upstream is u minus v and downstream is u plus v. So downstream is basically with the flow, upstream is against the flow, where your u is speed of boat and v is speed of the current or speed of the stream, whatever you want to take that to be. Okay, so if it is upstream, it is obviously going to be less because it is against the flow, and downstream is going to be a bigger value because you get an added force with it. Now here a boat takes 20 hours to travel downstream from point P to Q and coming back to a point R midway between P and Q. If the velocity of the stream is 5 km per hour and the speed of the boat in still water, okay, whenever they give speed of the boat in still water, they are giving the value of this u directly. It's 13 km per hour. What is the distance between P and Q? Simple question they're asked. So let the distance between P and Q, let it be x. Now, the distance between P and R, this R is midway. So if PQ is x, distance between P and R will be x by 2 because it is halfway between the two. Next thing, I'm going to form the equation in terms of time. I know speed equals to distance upon time, time equals to distance upon speed. I can always use these quantities with respect to each other in an interchangeable format. So always time can be written with respect to distance, distance can be written with respect to time. It is not going to be an issue at all. So I'm going to use this formulation because here I can see it is 20 hours, then it is 5 kilometers per hour. Some speeds are given to me, but a major relation is given to me with respect to time only. So let's go for that. So a boat take 20 hours to travel downstream from P to Q and coming back to point R, which is midway P and Q. So if I have two times, that is going from P to Q, then coming back from Q to a point that is somewhere in between. So these time interval 1 and time interval 2, sum of that is given to me as 20 hours. Okay, so first downstream. Distance traveled fully is x, P to Q is x divided by downstream. Downstream is U plus V, plus coming back to R. R is x by 2 because it is midway and it is upstream. So this becomes U minus V is equals to 20. Okay, now, so I have the values of upstreams and downstreams also. If the velocity of the stream, they have given the value of v, and speed of the boat, they have given the value of u. Let's put these values. So x upon 13 plus 5 plus x by 2 upon 30 minus 5 is equals to 20. So this basically becomes x by 18 plus x by, let's take 2 here only, 13 minus 5 is 8, x by 16 comes out to be 20. So I have these values. Let's try to reduce them and try to solve it. When you will do this, you will get the value of x. So when you do the addition, LCM would be 144. This becomes 8x plus 9x is equals to 20. So 7x divided by 144 equals to 20. When you do this, value of x becomes 144 into 20 divided by 7, that is 169.4 kilometers. Straight away I'm getting the answer. My answer becomes option D, 169.4 kilometers. Distance is 169.4. Next, two numbers are in the ratio 8 is to 7. And 40 is added to the first number, 20 is subtracted from the second number. The ratio of the number changes to 4 is to 1. Okay, the larger of the two numbers initially was. So what I'm going to do, let the numbers be 8x and 7x because initially it is given ratio is this much. 40 is added to the first number. So 8x plus 40. And what happened? 20 is subtracted from the second, 7x minus 20. The new ratio becomes 4 is to 1. Don't go for x and y because if you're taking 2, 3 variables, questions become complicated. We need to have more and more equations then. So if we can take the numbers at 8x and 7x and then take 40 to be the, add 40 to the first number, subtract 20 from it. If we just can form one equation, things will become simpler for us. Okay, now let's just solve this equation, get the value of x, put it into 8x and 7x, get the numbers. So 8x plus 40 equals to 28x minus 80. When you do this, 20x comes out to be 120, value of x becomes 6. So numbers become 8 into 6, that is 48 and 42. The numbers that I have now, they are 48 and 42. Larger of these, it's 48. So the larger of the two numbers initially is 48. My answer becomes option A. See, every question it's on a moderate level. Either it's a very easy question or it's on a moderate level of difficulty. Like this question, I would say it's a moderate level because students usually they take up 2 or 3 variables and become little, make this question very lengthy for them. Next question, in how many ways can the word banana be arranged so that the vowels do not stay together? So typical way of doing this question is, let's just find out the total number of ways in which the word banana can be arranged, how many total arrangements are going to be formed, minus the number of ways in which vowels are going to be together. This is what we can do. We can find total number of ways minus the ways in which vowels are going to be together. I'll get the ways where vowels are not together. Okay, now total number of ways. Banana, if we talk about banana, is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 lettered word. But there is repetition. A is coming 3 times, N is coming 2 times. So if there is a repetition, what I do is I divide by the repetition. So total number of ways becomes 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial, 2 factorial. When you do this, it comes out to be 60 ways. So in these 60 ways, in all these 60 ways, the word banana can be arranged. Because see, A is obviously, if I put this A first or this A first, does not make much difference. So now, Vowels, when they are going to be together, how do I find out the ways in which vowels are going to be together? Let's consider all of these A, they're going to be a packet always. Now, since this is going to be just a packet that are going to be there, all of them together are going to be at one particular place. So what we are going to do is, let's assume that all the A's are going to be together. So what remains is B, N, N and a packet of A. See, any A can come up at any place, but it is always going to be the same arrangement. I just have to keep all of these A's together. So what will happen here is, total number of ways in which vowels are together becomes 4 factorial, because now it is just reduced to 4 letters that needs to be arranged, divided by 2 factorial because I have 2 ends. Whenever how many repetitions I have, I divide by that repetition. So this becomes 12 ways. So cases when vowels are together, it is 12 ways. So what I have to do is, total ways minus ways in which vowels are together, those are going to be the ways where vowels do not stay together. Becomes 60 minus 12, that is 48 ways. Number of ways in which vowels do not stay together becomes 48 ways. My answer is option B. Next, in how many ways can the word corporation be arranged so that all the vowels stay together? Okay, so they have just asked one of the intermediate stages that we were doing. Previous question we did vowels do not stay together. I have to find out the ways in which vowels are going to stay together. Now, corporation is 11 letters. Out of these 11 letters, what is going to happen is, how many vowels I have? I have O, O, A, I, and O. So I have 3 O, 1 A, and 1 I. So all of these 5 vowels, they're always going to form a packet of 5, and they're always going to come out together. Now, out of 11, 5 letters are gone. That means just 6 letters remaining. So all those 6 letters, C, R, P, R, T, and N, 6 letters, and this one packet, they're going to be arranged. So all in all, I have 7 letters that now I need to arrange. So 7 letters in 7 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is what we have to do the arrangement. I know 7 letters, 7 spaces, it's 7 factorial. But I have to divide by repetition also, because R is coming twice. So I'm going to do 7 factorial divided by 2 factorial. This is going to be 2520. The value of 7 factorial divided by 2 factorial becomes 2520. Now, if we talk about these 5 vowels, internal arrangement of these vowels is also going to happen. Although all these vowels are going to stay always together, but any of these can go at any place. It can be O, A, I, O, O, O also. It can be O, 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 I, A also. Anything can happen, so internal arrangement of all these vowels also has to be considered. Previously, we didn't consider the internal arrangement of A and A because there is just one way of arranging them. Any A can go at any space and it is going to be the same arrangement that is being followed. But here it is different, so we have to consider the arrangement of these 5 vowels. Now, number of ways in which vowels are going to be arranged becomes 5 factorial, because those are 5 vowels, out of which I have 3 repetitions. So this becomes 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial. When I do this, this becomes 120 divided by 6, that is 20 ways. So in this 20 ways, the vowels can be arranged. Now, I need the arrangement of consonants, that is all these 7 letters also, and I need the arrangement of vowel also. My total number of ways becomes 2520 into 20, because in permutations we have this thing, whenever there is anding is always multiplication. Whenever it is oring, either the first case I need or the second case I need, I do the addition of number of ways. So here total number of ways is, I need these 7 letters also and I need the vowels also. Becomes 2520 into 20. Answer comes out to be 50400 ways. My answer is option C, 50400 ways. Next, find the value of the following. Okay, now this question, a lot of students face little difficulty in this question because they think that this is an infinite series and how to go for value of infinite series. Okay, what am I going to do is, it's cube root of 5 into cube root of 5 into cube root of 5 up to infinite number of terms. Let this whole expression be equal to y. Let this total expression be equal to y. Since it's an infinite series inside the cube root, the series inside the cube root can also be replaced with a y. So actually what I can do is, if I just leave this first cube root of 5, the rest it is again a infinite series. So out of infinite numbers, if I take 1 5 out, it is not going to make much difference. It is still going to be an infinite series. So actually my expression becomes cube root of 5 into y, because all this is multiplication. It is equals to y. So first thing what I did, I called the whole expression as y. Next thing, inside the under root, instead of just 1 5, let me just keep this 1 5 aside. Rest of it I again replace it with y. I called the whole expression equal to y. Now let's cube it both the sides. Let's try to cube it both the sides. When we cube both the sides, it becomes 5y equals to y cube. From here, y square equals to 5. That is, value of 5 comes out to be 5 raised to power 1 by 2 or under root of 5. I got the value of y is root 5. What was initially y? The value of y was this whole expression. I had assumed this whole expression to be equal to y. Therefore, the value of this whole expression, when you will do it up to infinite number of terms, it will come out to be 5 raised to power 1 by 2. My answer would be option B. My answer becomes option B. It's 5 power 1 by 2. Next, the profit earned by selling an article for rupees 1732 is equals to loss incurred when the same article is sold for rupees 1270. At what price should the article be sold to make a 20% profit? Okay, now the profit earned by selling an article is equals to the loss when the same article is sold. Let the profit or the loss that the person is having, let it be equal to x, because it is said the profit and the loss, they both are equal. Let it be equal to x. So 1730 minus x is equals to 1270 plus x. I've just taken this numerical value of profit or loss, whatever it is. Let's say it is 500 rupees, 600 rupees, that I have taken to be x. So profit and loss in both the cases, it is given to me is equal. So 1732 minus x, it is equals to 1270 plus x, because when I do this, I get the value of the cost price. Now 2x, if I solve this, 2x comes out to be 462. My value of x becomes rupees 231. That is the same profit or the same loss that the person was getting. It is rupees 231. Therefore, the cost price of the article becomes, either you do 1732 minus x or you do 1270 plus x, you get the same value. I'm going to go for addition. Cost price becomes 1270 plus 231, that is rupees 1501. Now, cost price I have. At what price should I sell so that that the article is making 20% profit? So selling price is 1.2 times cost price, because I'm going to have a 20% profit. If I have 20% profit, I can write my selling price to be equal to 1.2 cost price. Cost price I have, it's 1501 into 1.2 comes out to be rupees 1801.2. That is the price that at which I should sell it so that I get a 20% profit. It's rupees 1801.2. My answer is option C. After this step, you could have gone by the conventional also. You can take profit formula, apply the formula for profit. Profit is SP minus CP divided by CP into 100. You can even go by this. Put the value of profit to be 20%. Solve all of this, but it will become complicated. Simply take selling price equals to 1.2 cost price, could put the value of cost price, get the answer. My answer becomes option C. Next, a man bought two goats for rupees 1008. Okay. He sold one for a loss of 20% and one at a profit of 44%. Okay, so he has two goats. One is sold at a loss, other is sold at a profit. If each goat was sold for the same price, then the cost price of the goat which was sold at a loss would be. Okay. Now, they're asking me what is the cost price of the goat that was sold at a loss. Let the cost price of the two goats, let it be X and Y. I'm assuming the cost price of the two goats to be X and Y. Now, it is said that the cost price is X and Y, and if one I'm selling at 20% loss and other I'm making a profit of 44%, and both of them are equal because he has bought two goats for rupees 1008. So what I'm going to do is x into 80 by 100. This is the price when it is 20% loss. It is equals to y into 144 by 100. This is when the price was, when it was 44% profit. I'm going to get a ratio of x by y. X by y from here comes out to be 144 by 80. X by y becomes 144 by 80. When you reduce it, this becomes 18 by 10. Have a value of x by y, it's 18 by 10. Further can be reduced, it becomes 9 by 5. So ratio of the two cost prices I have now, it is 9 is to 5. Now the cost price of the goat that was sold at the loss becomes 1008 into 9 by 14. Simply if I do this 1008 into 9 by 14, because the ratio of the two cost prices I have, first is when it was sold at a loss of 20%, it's x. When it was sold at a profit of 44%, it was y. I need to have the, I found the ratio of x by y. X by y was 9 is to 5. What was the cost price that was sold at a loss? Total he bought it for 1008. So cost price becomes 1008 into 9 by 14. If the question would have asked me what was the cost price for the goat where it was sold at a profit of 44%, I would have done 1008 into 5 by 14. This is what I would have done. So when you find it, comes out to be rupees 648. Calculation of this gives me rupees 648. My answer is option A. Next, a vendor sells lemon at the rate of 5 for rupees 14 by gaining 40%. Calculate for how much did he buy those 40 lemons for. Okay, selling price of one lemon, because it is given selling price of 5 lemons is rupees 14. So for one lemon it is 14 by 5, that is 2.8 rupees. This is the selling price of one lemon. Now next thing, it is given that there is a 40% profit. If the selling price is rupees 2.8 and there is a 40% profit, I know how to write it. So 1.4 CP is equals to SP. 1.4, I have to find the cost price only, is equals to what the selling price is 2.8. So my cost price directly comes out to be 2 rupees. If the cost price is 2 rupees and I'm selling it at a 40% profit, I'm selling it for rupees 2.8 per piece, per lemon. So I got the cost price of one lemon. This is for one lemon. Calculate how much did he buy 40 lemons. So for 40 lemons, how much did he buy those 40 lemons for? I need to find the cost price of those 40 lemons, because when you look at the question, a lot of us were going to make this mistake. We would have done 2.8 into 40 and we would have got some answers. Vendor, how much did that vendor buy those 40 lemons for? That is the question. So this becomes 40 into 2 becomes rupees 80. So how much did he buy those 40 lemons? He bought it for rupees 80. My answer is option A. Okay, find the missing term. Find the missing term of this particular series that is given to us. Okay, so I have a series, it's 10, 99, 1078, question mark, and 130306. Okay, so let's try to figure out what this series would have been. First step for solving any series is to look for a particular pattern. Now, obviously, it is not an addition, because adding something to 10 to make it 99, I added 89. But if I add again 89 to 10 to 99 to 99, I'm not getting 107 it. So it is obviously not addition. Might be it is some multiplication. Might be I would have done some multiplication. So what kind of multiplication I have done, I need to figure that out. One way of obtaining 99 is I would have done 9 into 11. But how do I get this 9? Can I write this 9 as 10 minus 1? And then if I do 11, I'll get 99. Okay, this is looking good. I can write 99 as 10 minus 1 into 11. So what I have done for 99 is I have written 10 minus 1 into 11. Now, but how do I get 1078? 1078, I could have written it as 98 into 11. 98 could be obtained as 99 minus 1 into 11. So one thing that I observed here is the next term is obtained by previous term minus 1 into 11. Same thing if I can do here, if I can do 1078 minus 1 into 11, I would get this blank space that I'm looking for. This blank space, I'm going to obtain it in this way only, because the pattern that I observed was previous term minus 1 into 11. If I do this, I'm going to get to some answers. So I have done 1078 minus 1 into 11. When I do this, this becomes 1077 into 11. Unit place obviously has to be 7. Look for the option that has unit place as 7. Okay, looks like D. When I do the multiplication, I get the answer as 11847. Definitely my answer is D. The next term is obviously obtained with respect to this question mark only, with respect to this 11847 only. So if I follow the same pattern, if I do 11847 minus 1 into 11, this is 11846 into 11. Unit place has to be 6. Okay, 6 is obtained. When I do the multiplication, it's 130306 only. So my pattern is followed. Pattern was previous term minus 1 into 11. Following the same way, answer comes out to be option